FEMA is working to help those affected, approving multiple fire management assistance grants to aid with firefighting efforts. And joining us now is FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell. Ms. Criswell, thanks for being with us this morning. What more can you tell us about what FEMA has seen there on the ground and your efforts to help?
Yeah, good morning. You know, what I'm hearing so far this morning is that, the number of structures that have been impacted continues to rise. We don't know how many of those are actual homes, but we know that there are many homes, if not hundreds of homes out of that, that have been destroyed or have significant damage, smoke damage. We know that there's thousands of people that have been evacuated. And so what we want to be able to do now that we have the major disaster declaration that was approved by President Biden yesterday, it opens up our ability to really support the people and the families that have been impacted. And so the first thing I want people to do is make sure that they are in a safe place. This is still a very dangerous situation. And if you are in a safe place, you can now go to disasterassistance.gov. You can start that recovery process with us, and then we can help you on this road to recovery.
And so what is it when you talk about getting this fire management assistant grant out the door in the past 24 hours to help cover some of the costs of firefighting? What does that look like exactly? How much support can you provide in that regard?
Yeah, there's two different types of disaster declarations that have been given to California. The first one, which we did on Tuesday, were the fire management assistance grants. That helps just pay some of the expenses that the local jurisdictions were experiencing as a result of the initial onset of these fires. With the major disaster declaration, it does more. And so it will continue to provide even additional assistance to provide financial reimbursement to some of those costs, but we can also now start to send in additional resources. We want to work very closely with CAL FIRE and the National Interagency Fire Coordination Center because they have the responsibility for the fire. And so if they need resources that they can't get through their own mechanisms, this disaster declaration can help us bring that in for them. But what it's really going to do is help support the recovery. It's going to help support the rebuilding of the infrastructure that's been damaged. It's going to help support the individuals that have been displaced with temporary housing or long-term housing as needed. We'll work in concert with their insurance companies to make sure that we're using all of the resources that are available from our nonprofits, insurance, as well as ours, to get them on that road, understand what their needs are, what their gaps are, and make sure we can meet their specific and unique needs to them.
Madam Administrator, good morning. Obviously, there is a long way to go before these fires are contained. But I wanted to ask you about what does happen next when eventually the fires are out. What role does FEMA play in terms of, let's say it's a family who's lost their home. Their children have lost their school. As they sift through the ashes and try to rebuild their lives, what role does FEMA then play?
Yeah, the recovery from something as catastrophic as we're seeing with these fires is going to be extremely complicated. But when we all come together, it's very doable, but it is going to take time. But we can do things like put in temporary schools for the children that don't have their school right now because they were lost. We will work with individuals that were underinsured or had no insurance to help them find a safe place to stay until they can rebuild their home. We'll help support the state with rebuilding critical infrastructure that was damaged as a result of this fire. That could be roads, that can be the power structure, that can be the water systems that were damaged. That includes schools, it includes the public buildings like fire stations, police stations, city buildings, all of that. But we need to then get an assessment before we can start to help the state and help reimburse those costs to really know what the scope and magnitude of this damage is. But people, the individuals that have been affected, they can start that process now. They can apply for assistance today. We are going to send people out into the shelters to be able to start to talk to them and understand what their needs are. I'm traveling there today so I can get a better idea of what they think the overall scope is going to be so we can make sure we're bringing the right resources in to help them after this fire is put out.
And for people watching on the West Coast in these affected areas, you already, as you pointed out, can begin to apply for that assistance at disasterassistance.gov or by calling 1-800-621-FEMA. Disasterassistance.gov or 1-800-621-FEMA. FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell, a lot of work ahead. We'll let you get to it. Thanks for being with us this morning. We appreciate it.